Shalom, everyone, and welcome to Wow equals Words of Wisdom number 6. Learn how to fail forward in life. Now, what do I mean by failing forward? What I mean by that is, how do you respond after your failures in life? I don't know about you, but I've had plenty of failures in my life. Just think about, you know, when you sin, you failed, you've missed the mark, okay, you didn't meet Yah's standard. How do you respond after you fail? Do you fail forward or do you fail backward? And we need to learn how to fail forward in life. We need to learn how to learn from our mistakes, learn from our bad choices, learn from our bad decisions, learn from, the sins that we've committed and the consequences that have come from those sins that we were committing in our lives. When we've just gone down the wrong path, when we've made the wrong direction, when we gone down the wrong direction, when we have done things that were wrong out of ignorance, but we find out later on down the line those things are wrong and we failed in those areas. Do we continue down those same paths and fail backwards, or do we fail forward? And a lot of times people get stuck in their failures. They're so caught up in the fact that they failed and they never move forward in life. They never move forward. They never learn to learn. Good morning, Sister Diamond. They never learn from their failures. And that's when you can learn the most, is when you fail. When you're succeeding all the time, you just begin to think, oh, I got it all together. I'm good to go. Everything's perfect. I don't have to change anything. I don't have to adjust anything. But when you fail, that's when it causes you to look at your situation, your circumstance, what you did, who you associated yourself with, and it causes you to reflect on what happened. And I know for myself, I like to look at it and say, okay, what could have been done differently? What can I do differently next time? What can I do better? What can I stop doing, and leave it alone altogether? Who do I need to separate from? Good morning, Sister Kimiya. How can I do this differently so I don't get the same result where I ended up in this failure? And so when I learned, I read a book called Failing Forward years ago by John Maxwell. And that whole book was about how people dealt with their failures. Excellent book. And people that have dealt with inventors, let's just take that for instance. Inventors, that's all they do is fail. That's how they come up with their inventions. A lot of times it seems like it's by accident. They're trying to do one thing and then they end up inventing another because they may have failed at doing something else, but then they discovered in their failure over here, they discovered something else. And then they ended up moving forward with what they found accidentally in their failed experiment, but then they found something else. And then they go on to patent it and reproduce it and, earn a living off of it. So that's failing forward. And so we have to learn how to do that. We can't get stuck in our failures. We can't get stuck on the fact that something didn't turn out right away. We live in a microwave society where we want everything to be, given to us right away. We want we want to make a lot of money right away. We want to come out of school and get the highest paid jobs or start a business right away and that business just take off, right off the bat. But there's going to be some things of some failures that's going to happen. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to make some bad choices. You're going to make some wrong decisions. But it's, some of these things I've, had to deal with even since I started my business. There's certain things that I've had to learn. Say, you know what? I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to go back and I'm going to make these adjustments here, or I'm going to buy, these materials from this person and not from that person. I'm going to get this work done over here. So instead of me getting discouraged and say, well, you know what, I'm just not going to do anything anymore, I'm going to shut my business down. No, I have to learn from the different things that have happened since I've been running my business, and then learn the life lessons, the spiritual and natural life lessons that need to be learned so that I can grow and get better and fail forward and keep moving forward in my life. Yes, everything is a lesson. People say, well, that person, that I didn't learn anything from them. You're always learning. You're either learning what to do that is good for you to do, or you're learning that you don't need to do that. So you're always learning. You're always learning. It's just whether you choose to take in that knowledge and apply it with wisdom. Because remember, wisdom is the correct application of knowledge. So we've got to learn how to fail forward. We can't get stuck in our failures. We can't get caught up with the fact that, things didn't turn out right, or we failed, or things just kind of got messed up, or what have you. And I know that some failures are bigger than others, and I'm not saying walk around and just don't care about things. You do need to plan, and your failures shouldn't be because you did not plan. Okay, your failures, you need to plan. You need to have things organized and do things right, and things of that nature. But you really need to make sure that you don't get stuck in that. And a lot of us do. We get stuck in our past. We get stuck, things that we did wrong. And you just think about repentance. Okay, the word repent means to turn away from. Okay, something that you're doing that is sinful, that is wicked, that is wrong. And so we as children of the Most High Yah, as people of Yah, we need to fail forward. And when you come into a relationship with Yahuwah through his son Yahushua HaMashiach, he is giving us the ultimate opportunity to fail forward. Okay, because we were born in sin and shaped in iniquity, but he's given us that opportunity to fail forward in him. Okay, in him. He's given us an opportunity to come out of darkness into the marvelous light. He's given us an opportunity to turn away from sin and wickedness and iniquity and turn to him, so that we can be, we can grow in him. We can be successful in him. He can show us how to do things right in him. And so we've got to learn how to fail forward. We can't get stuck in the things that we've done wrong, things that we made a bad choice, we made a bad decision. We can't get stuck in that. We really can't. We got to learn how to fail forward. When we come against, adversity, our strength can't be small. We got to pray and ask the Most High Yah for wisdom. Okay, this is what happened. What do I do? Abba Yah, what do I do so that I can move forward, so I can do things better, so I can do this in a way that is right in your sight, so I can do this with integrity next time. Okay, so that I can do this in a way that honors you, whatever this is. Okay, everybody has different things that is going on in life. Like I said, I can't even think about how many actual, failures I've had in my life. But when I think back on it, when I have failed, is when I've learned the most. That's when I've experienced the most growth. And then I've had the tools that I've needed to be able to say, I don't need to do this in this way. I need to do this way. And I've, especially when you're doing things on the computer and stuff like that, and you're trying to design something, you see it, and then you run it off, you print it off, and you're like, that doesn't work. It looks like this on the screen, but it looks another way when you print it out on paper. And you hear that phrase, that was good in theory. On paper, that'll work. But will it work when you actually try to go out and do it? You know? And so when you fail forward, you learn the spiritual and natural life lessons that you need to learn. Okay? You keep a good attitude. You keep the right spiritual perspective, which will give you the right natural perspective, what you need to do in the natural. And you always reflect on what you've done, what you've said, the methods and procedures in which you have, done something, whether it's your job, whether it's your business, how are you functioning with your spouse or your children, the other people and your coworkers, business associates, and you learn from the failures of your past. And then you go back and you think about what you need to do differently, what you need to do better, or what you need to stop doing altogether, or what you need to start doing. And then you make those spiritual and natural adjustments that you need to make so that the next time you can fail forward. Okay? That's part of failing forward. That's what we need to do each and every day. I can think about a lot of things that maybe that I just did yesterday that I can think, okay, I need to do that differently. Or even this morning, excuse me, I could think about what I need to do, tomorrow, y'all willing, that I'm still here, that I can, do things differently, the next day. So I can be ready, to be more effective. And that's how you grow each and every day. If you don't like where you are in your life, first and foremost, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially or whatever, learn how to start failing forward. Learn what you need to do so that you can learn the life lessons. And if things are kind of like blowing up in your life and you're going through failure after failure after failure after failure, and it seems like that has become the norm in your life, then you need to go before the Most High Yah in prayer and ask Him to reveal to you what is actually happening in your life that is keeping you stuck in that place of failure, and ask Him to show you how you can learn from those failures and bring you into a place of continuous growth in your life. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. You continuing to move forward in your relationship with the Most High Yah, in your relationships, period, in your life, so that when you look at your life 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, you'll be able to look back and see growth. And there's a lot of people that haven't experienced a lot of failure in their life. And so when they do start experiencing some adversity or some level of failure, they can't handle it. They can't handle it at all. Some people start losing their mind. And, some people, when they have to start really dealing with failure, start dealing with, the tests and the trials and the tribulations in life, that they have a hard time because everything has just been a bed of roses for them their whole entire life. But what I have seen is that people that have dealt with struggle. Hi, Sister Amanda. Yeah. Dealt with struggle, have dealt with tests, have dealt with trials. When things come up in their lives later on in life, they're able to handle it. They're able to deal with it. They're able to stand strong. Not saying that they like the test or the trial or the tribulation, but they're able to work through it. And that's what it means when you're going through. It doesn't mean that you're staying stuck where you are. That means you're working through that situation and that circumstance, and you're coming out on the other side. You're failing forward. And that's what we need to learn how to do. We need to learn how to fail forward in our lives, not keep failing backwards. You don't want to be 5 years from now and looking at yourself and it's going, you know, I'm in the same situation, going through the same stuff, dealing with the same addictions, dealing with the same sins, dealing with the same failures. I got the same mentality. I got the same outlook. I never got over what I did wrong back in 1975. you know, we've got to learn how to fail forward. We got to learn how to grow and mature, in our lives and not stuck in our failures. Failure doesn't have to be commonplace, in your life. It doesn't have to be a thing where it defines who you are. Anytime you fail, use that as an opportunity to learn and to grow and to move forward in a positive way in your life. So I just wanted to encourage you with that today. Learn how to fail forward in your life. And if this is an area that you've been struggling with and you've been stuck, in the fact that you have messed up or you made a mistake or you failed or you made a wrong decision, you made a wrong choice, or things just haven't been turning out right, and you've kind of gotten discouraged or you've given up or you've thrown in the towel, start learning how to fail forward. Start using those times of failure as an opportunity to grow in your life. So I pray that each and every one of you, thank you for those of you who have joined me today. Yah bless each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me for WOW equals Words of Wisdom number 6. And I pray that each and every one of you will have a positive, powerful, and productive day. Shalom. I'll see you next time.